Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a special guest yet again. Listen, we filmed a video all together, my two sisters and I. They chose a full face of makeup for me, and the most liked comment, or several of the most liked comments, were telling me to bring them back on the channel and for me to do their makeup. Now this is something that I've never done on my channel before. I've never done anybody's makeup on my channel. You know, I don't really do other people's makeup too often. When I do, I feel like it's family and friends only. I never was like a freelance artist, but I do love to do it, so I'm really excited about this. I hope you're excited too.
I am.
So anyway, why don't you introduce yourself before we get into this?
I'm Abbie. I'm Allie's sister.
That's right.
That's about it.
That's about it. We'll get to know her a little bit more throughout this.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to be like a little bit off the frame, but you'll hear me talking. So, you know, this is going to be really focused on Abbie here. So, okay, so Abbie, tell us what your inspo was for the look that you want me to create today. I'll be over here.
So I was thinking of like a dewy, fresh, springtime, simple look.
That's right. You are kind of like I feel like you're pretty simple when it comes to your makeup.
I'm very simple.
You don't wear that much makeup, but you like to look kind of dewy and like fresh sometimes.
Yeah.
And you want to play with color a little bit today.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
I'm right. Okay. I'm always right. Okay, so I'm going to start off by prepping her skin with the Embryolisse Late Cream Concentrate. I was giving them both my sisters who are here right now, a full lecture about this moisturizer yesterday. You guys know how much I love this. If you have not tried it, it's a must, and it is great for wintertime, dry skin, and everything like that. You would say that you have pretty dry skin.
Yes, I do.
I'm just gonna do little clippies so your hair doesn't get in my way.
Yes.
Turn this way. So I'm taking one of those, like, you know, these are like really cheap sponges from like Walmart.
I can afford that.
Yeah, you can. This is a great way though to like apply moisturizer on other people. So I'm just gonna prep her skin using this. I can already see your skin just drinking this up. Okay, so Abbie is a huge Glossier fan. However, she has not tried this. This is the Glossier Skin Tint, and she requested that I put it on her so that she can see how she likes it. If we need more coverage, I have a backup, but I just wanted to put this on first. So again, this is the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. I'm gonna use the shade G11 on Abbie. I washed all of my brushes before this, you guys.
Don't
We're
fret.
not about to transfer germs. Not today. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by applying this on like the cheek area, and then we will move whatever is left on the brush toward the center. I feel like for me, I like to focus it, turn this way a little. I like to focus the coverage on the areas where I feel like I need it. I feel like for you, you have a very nice like center of the face, if that makes sense. So if you did apply coverage, it would probably be toward more of the jawline. So that's what I would, you know, recommend, and that's what I'm doing here. So you'll see, can you see how it's kind of evening it out, but it does not look makeup-y whatsoever, like at all.
Oh, yeah.
You see?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because I don't wear foundation.
Yeah.
So.
This is a great product.
But I
for
do
that.
need coverage. So this is good.
You might really enjoy this. I have tried this several times, and I've told my audience before, but I will, you know, repeat myself just in case. I am somebody who just, you know, if I'm going to wear foundation, I'm just going to go full out, you know? There's no in between. I'm not trying to put something on my face that's not going to look like anything. But I know so many people are like that, and they love the no makeup look, just want a little tint, but you know, you don't want to worry about your makeup looking weird throughout the day, and this is a good option for that too. I'm just adding a little bit more coverage on the forehead. Okay, after I've distributed things with a brush, I'm going to go in with a beauty blender. You went cross-eyed. I almost hit you in the face with that. I'm going to take what's left and just kind of press this into the skin just to make sure that things are nice and smooth. I actually like this. I was going to put more coverage on you, but I think we can just spot conceal with concealer, and I think you'll be happy with the final result. How do you feel about it? Do you see?
Yeah.
Like,
I
it doesn't.
that.
It like doesn't look like anything, but not in a bad way.
No,
it's a certain vibe.
Yeah.
So last night we were discussing good drugstore concealers. Abbie usually wears the Maybelline Fit Me, right? Which is an amazing concealer. But you were saying that that it slides off blemishes, which I find it also does. So I use the Fit Me underneath the eyes, or if I'm having a really good skin day, and they had never tried, both my sisters had never tried the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. So I am going to put this on Abbie today. I'm going to use it underneath your eyes as well. There's like a little twisty. But this is an amazing concealer for not only concealing under eyes, but also blemishes. I feel like it has a bit of a thicker formula, but not in a bad way. It will really help to conceal things, and it will stay longer than a thinner formula, but it doesn't look heavy to me. So I really, really love this one. We're gonna start off with a lighter shade just under the eyes. You really don't have dark circles, but everybody has a little discoloration, so you don't need very much at all. I'm just kind of like focusing it in the areas that have the discoloration, which is right here. And then I'm taking what's left and kind of buffing it up toward the lash line. And I feel like everybody forgets this area here. You don't have to, I feel like you're like falling backwards because you're just like looking up so much. And then you can kind of conceal this area here. Oh, sorry. Do you see how, right here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
I never put concealer there.
Yeah, we all forget. But I feel like that's where most of us get kind of blue.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't want to be looking dead like I normally do.
Right. And I feel like everybody gets a little redness around the nose. So just taking what's left, I'm just blending that out here. I'm kind of trying to create a nice subtle highlight, I guess, in the center of the face using this lighter shade of concealer. But I'm not putting like coverage absolutely everywhere. I'm just kind of creating an illusion, you know, of a little bit more of like a light, fresh center of the face. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love that. And then after I use a brush, I'm a brush and sponge kind of a person. I feel like everybody
I like sponges.
knows that. But the brush gives me coverage, the sponge gives me that dewy finish, so I like to go back and forth. You know? So for blemishes, we're going to go in with a little bit of a deeper shade. This is the same formula. Different packaging, though. They, like, redid the packaging, and one of them's new, one of them's old. This is the shade Ivory.
Do you ever apply it directly?
Yeah, with myself, but, you know, since you're my client today, I'm not trying to cross-contaminate.
You're right.
So I'm just going to take this one, and I'm just going to, like, pinpoint the areas that I feel like could use a little bit more coverage. I am not somebody that really worries about covering every little last piece because especially if you're trying to go for a look where you're trying not to look like you're wearing that much makeup, I feel like it's totally okay to let a little bit of blemishes or texture show through. So I'm just kind of like pinpointing the areas that I feel like will even out the overall skin tone, and then I'm leaving everything else alone. I'm using that same concealer brush. This is an amazing Real Techniques brush, which I was telling you about yesterday. A must-have, in my opinion.
Add that to my shopping cart.
That's right. By the way, all these things will be linked down below if you're wondering what brush this is. It actually comes in a Real Techniques set, and it's one of the best brush sets of all time, like, and it just so happens to be from the drugstore, but it's one of my favorites. Is there any areas that you would like more coverage on?
Oh, looks good to me.
So I like that level of coverage on Abbie. I feel like, well, you're a senior in high school. You're going for that no makeup look. So it still looks like her skin. I'm going to actually leave it like that. If you prefer more coverage, you could obviously go in with a little more concealer, or you could start off with a more full coverage base in general. I feel like I'm weird, like talking on sides. So that's what I was saying. Okay, so Abbie mentioned that she wanted me to do something with oranges and pinks. So I felt like this ColourPop eyeshadow palette would be perfect. This is the ColourPop Sweet Talk eyeshadow palette, and it has oranges and pinks. Look at that. This whole palette seems like you in an eyeshadow palette, you know? The iridescence, shade. The pops of colors, the glitter, the glitz, the glam, but also the simplicity.
So deep.
Lindsay, gotta get me something in there. A little bit of powder I forgot. In the drugstore drawer, there's a little powder. Alright, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. This is one of the best translucent powders at the drugstore, and it's like $4, so who doesn't love that? Am I right? I'm going to take a little bit of this, and I'm going to use this to set your eyelids. This is really great, you know, before going in with eyeshadow. I feel like it makes eyeshadow blend better, and if you have, you know, hooded eyelids or oily eyelids, it helps things last a little longer.
Yeah, eyeshadow doesn't show up that much on my eyelids. It's weird.
Doesn't show up?
Yeah.
Well, sweetie, that might be the eyeshadow you use.
Maybe.
Do you use brushes or a sponge for your eyeshadow too?
It's a sponge.
This is the shade Catch Me. It looks like kind of a ivory color in the pan, but it actually has a really nice peachy undertone. So I'm going to start with this as our transition shade. Sorry. Not trying to get dust all over you. I'm going to start to apply it just here in the crease, blending back and forth. I love this shade because I feel like you can't really mess it up. And it's really buildable, but in a good way. See that?
With the other eye?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
We do want to even out your eyes. Hello, girl.
Oh, hello.
I'm just going to keep layering that up because I want a little bit more. But, you know, if you don't, you just don't layer up as much, you know, if you're following along. Next up, I'm going to dip into the shade Dream Maker. I'm actually going to use the same brush.
Love that one.
Yeah, it's really nice. Nice and peachy. This one I'm going to start to focus more on this outer portion toward the lash line. So we're kind of trying to create a gradient. And I always like to start in this area here, and then once there's less on the brush, I will take it into the crease a little bit just to make sure that the colors kind of blend seamlessly. But I want most of that definition right here. Ooh. I think like a soft sunset vibe. Do you know what I mean? See that? Nice. Nice, Abbie.
We love.
Nice. I love this palette. I'm taking a little bit of what's left on the brush and I'm kind of like bringing it in here. That creates a little bit more of like an editorial kind of feathered out effect. Optional, and I definitely would recommend if you do that trick, unless you're going for a specific effect, to use what's less on the brush, because then you don't really, you know, get a glob of pink in that area. But I think it just kind of brings the color, open your eyes, see, it kind of brings a little bit of that color inward. It just does something and I like it. Okay, we're gonna start to move into the yellowy shade in the palette, which is this one right here. This is called Work It. This time I'm using a different brush. And I'm gonna kind of press this on the center of the lid. Again, the same kind of idea with using most of the pigment toward the lash line, especially with Abbie's eye shape, because when she opens her eyes, you want a lot of that color kind of toward the lashes so that you can see it when your eyes are open. And then I'm just taking what's left and blending it inward to make like a little bit of a gradient, a little sunset effect. Do you see?
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty. She sees. She sees what I'm saying. Now, are you against a shimmer or glitter or no?
No. I love
Great.
a good shimmer or glimmer.
Great, because that's where we're going next.
Excellent.
Okay. So
That's
we got
so
a good,
pretty.
like, we got a good base down. It's not too much though, I don't think, in my opinion. Do you think?
No, not at all.
Great. I'm going to take this shade in the palette. This is actually a Super Shock formula, which is one of my favorites from ColourPop. This is called Side to Side. This is one of my favorite shades. There have been many days where I will take just this shade and put it all over the eyes and then pop this on top and you've got an entire look with that as well.
Wow.
So close the eyes. I'm just going to tap this with my finger, focusing on the inner portions of the eye. Yeah. So pretty. I mean, come on. Am I right?
Look at that. Look at that.
I'm going to go back in, look up. You know, normally I would like to do eyeshadow first, but in Abbie's case, I thought, you know, move this way, sorry. You know, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to sweep away some of the glitter with the concealer brush I used. All right, just to kind of match things, I'm going to take a little bit of this shade again. This is called Catch Me on a smaller brush. Dust off the extra. I'm just going to take that and just lightly dust it along the lower lash line, mostly around the outer third of the lower lash line, connecting it to the shades here. I feel like you keep moving your head like, do you panic a little bit when I'm doing the lower lash line? I feel like a lot of people do when I do people's makeup. I've noticed that.
Yeah. It's very, very close to the eyeball, you know?
Sure is. It is eyeshadow after all.
It is.
Okay, I'm going to take an even smaller brush and I'm going to dip into that pink, this one right here that we used on the lid. And I'm just going to focus this on the outer third, kind of layering right on top of that peach shade just to kind of bring in some of that brightness that we have on the top lid along the lower lash line slightly. Now I think we can do, grab your mascara and your brow pencil. I'm going to have Abbie do her own mascara with her own mascara. This is the CoverGirl, what's this called again? Lash Blast Volume Mascara. Look at that.
So I do 2 coats.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I always like to do a little extra mascara when I'm using any color on the lids.
Yeah.
Your neck's like breaking.
This mirror is so far down.
We are gonna do complexion, then we'll come back to the brows at the end. So for bronzer, I'm gonna be using my favorite Drugstore bronzer on Abbie. I have a lot, you guys know, but this is probably my current favorite. Excuse me, it always goes out of focus. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade Sunlight. There's just something about the formula of this that I feel like looks so good no matter what, and I don't know, just the tone of it is great, especially for fair skin tones. So I'm gonna start to just like kind of press this on the sides of Abbie's face. You might remember that we didn't powder it, so I'm gonna use pressing motions instead of like sweeping motions because I don't want to remove the coverage that we applied to the skin. To get a little up in the hairline here. And I was telling Abbie yesterday too, and I'll repeat myself here because I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but I recently learned a little trick. If you visualize a W across the face, it kind of gives more of a sun-kissed natural glow. So I'm kind of pressing it like this, taking what's left on the brush, going up across the nose, down, and then back up. And I think that just makes it look a little more fresh, youthful. After I apply bronzer, especially if I haven't powdered the sides, I always like to go back in with a sponge, which kind of sounds weird, but I feel like it really helps to just blend in that color into the skin, and it's not gonna make it look like harsh stripes on the face. It just kind of like blends it in. See? Love that. Wait, is that a freckle right there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a mascara mark, and then I was trying to wipe it away, and then no wonder it wouldn't wipe away. I like that. That's cute. Wow.
Oh, thanks.
Cute freckle Abbie.
Like a
I think that's just enough warmth for Abbie's skin, especially with what we're going for. Let's go ahead and do some blush. I'm going to be mixing 2 of the cloud paints. So I have they're from Glossier. This is Puff and Dusk. Being very careful with the amount I use this time. Yeah, I love these 2 shades because I love them by themselves, but when you mix them,
that's so pretty.
Creates like the best neutral peach. All right, I'm going to take the sponge that we were using. I'm just going to take the bottom of it, dip it right into my hand like this. All right, turn toward me, smile, and then we will bounce this on the cheeks until we get the amount of blush that we want. Yeah, oh yeah, it's showing up. Pretty, I like this one. I almost feel like I want a little bit more actually. I might take a little bit of just Puff because sometimes after doing blush kind of in this area here, I like to brighten up the center of the face with something a little bit brighter. So I'm going to take Puff, which is the this one. This is kind of like a bubblegum pink shade. I think it'll look really nice in like the center of the face, on the apples of the cheeks, right about that. Just layered in. I'm going to take what's left and kind of stamp it across the nose as well. Well, you're cute and fresh, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that.
Cute and fresh. Cute and fresh, Abbie!
Because when you first see it, you're like, oh, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I know.
And then you put it on and it looks really nice.
Yeah. And using a sponge is going to give you less coverage. So if you wanted to use it and have more pigment payoff, use a brush and then a sponge. But I wanted it to kind of be soft this time. So I'll use the sponge. Okay. You're opening a new brow pencil for Abbie. Oh! This is a take-home brow pencil. Yay. No! Ooh. Okay, I'm going to brush up Abbie's brows. Actually, do I want to do brows right now? I might wait till the very end, you know? We're changing plans here. I'm going to go in with highlighter next.
I feel like this is so unlike you.
Oh, gosh. What's so unlike me? To do brows last. You know, I'm a new woman.
Wow.
You know, I'm learning a lot. I'm trying new things these days. We have the ColourPop Super Shock Highlighter in the shade Lunch Money. I'm sure so many of you guys have probably tried this. I actually bought it because of you guys. And I felt like it was time for Abbie to try it. You've never tried this, have you?
No, I haven't.
So I'm taking the sponge, just the other side of it, and look that way for me so I can do a little poop, poop, poop. We're going to do a little highlighter on the cheekbone. Ooh, move your head back and forth, and why don't you take a peek at that? No, over there. Okay.
Am I doing it right?
Okay, go this way. Maybe this side you can see better. Wow, you're turned so much. But
Sorry.
I appreciate it. It helps me. The camera people, you know, they might want to see a little more than...
We'll give the people what they want.
That's right. I always like to put a little highlighter right here. I don't know. I just feel like something magical happens when there's a little glow. A little unibrow glow.
We love that.
So to speak. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Make sure that highlight is set in. I always do like to take it, smile a little bit. I like to take it kind of on the outer portions of the fat parts of the cheek. Like right here on the apples of the cheeks. I just feel like it adds a little something. I'm flipping the sponge over to the blush again, just to kind of add that color back in over top and to blend it all together. Glowy. She's glowy and she looks cute. She looks cute and she looks glowy. Okay, we're going to do Abbie's brows now. This is the only thing, actually, this entire tutorial I kind of wanted to keep affordable because I love creating pretty looks with products that, you know, don't break the bank. But this is a high-end brow pencil. I will link a couple drugstore options down below because I do love a good drugstore brow pencil. But this one
I feel like this is the one thing that you should invest in. It's not that expensive either, you know?
Yeah, and
it lasts a long time.
Yes, it does. And this one, you usually use the Brow Wiz from Anastasia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great one. This one I feel like lasts a little bit longer, at least in my brows. So let me know how you like it once you take this home and try it. I'm just going to use small hair-like strokes. Abbie has great full brows. She got great brow genes where I feel like I was gypped in that department, but it's fine.
They're getting a little crazy, but that's okay.
But I love a good, like, crazy undone brow, you know?
Yeah, I've never, like, attempted that look, but I like it a lot when I see it.
Oh, you don't even have to attempt it. You've got it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I always like to pinpoint the areas that could potentially get oily. So I'm going to take a little powder on a little powder brush. I'm going to go back into the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. And I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that on a smaller brush. And I'm going to, like, kind of set the under eyes a little bit, kind of buff it around the smile lines. Just anywhere where, you know, you might get oily throughout the day or where you crease a little bit. Because I feel like there's a fine line between dewy and greasy. So that's where, you know, it's always easy to kind of add a little bit of powder at the very end of your routine to the areas, like the T-zone basically, where, you know, you don't want to look greasy, but you want to keep the dew on the rest of the face. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so for Abbie's lips, I selected this. She tried it on last night and she loved it, so I thought we would use it again. It's the ColourPop Just a Tint Lip Crayon, and this is the shade Always Right. So I like this color, especially on you. I think it's a nice, like, baby pink, but it's not not too light, you know? Because some colors can get too light to where it's like they're actually more high maintenance, but this one's a good one. What do you think?
Yeah.
You like that color?
Yeah, I like it a lot, and it's really natural.
Yeah, I feel like you would wear it a lot.
I never wear, like, colored lip stuff.
Yeah.
Only, like, chapstick and lip gloss, so.
I'm a chapstick and lip gloss kind of gal as well.
Yeah, when it gives it a nice little tint, that's really nice. I like it.
Yeah, I think it looks good. It looks like your lips, but better.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Love that. I'm going to take a little more of Lunch Money, and I'm going to pop that into the inner corner of the eye, just using a small brush. I'm going to bring it in this area here just a little bit to brighten up the eyes. So
I love a good inner corner
I know,
highlight.
me too. I'm going to take what's left and go right here. It, like, makes the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can't leave the door without my brows, mascara, and an inner corner highlight. If I forget to do that, especially after doing a full-on look, I feel like I don't look finished, like doesn't look polished.
Mm-hmm.
Now we step back and assess the situation for Miss Abbie here.
Okay.
I always like to add just a teensy bit more bronzer at the end of everything just to make sure she looks nice and bronzed. I think I like everything. I think I like where it's at. It's very subtle on the skin, but like enough to look like you have a little dimension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
Love that. Okay, next I am going to actually... Lindsay, gonna get me something, girl. I'm gonna go in there, in the drawer. I'm gonna open it. No, the bottom cabinet, sorry. Yes, and can you see? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, kidding. That's up there. Can you see there by those setting sprays? There's ColourPop hyaluronic acid mist. Yay! Yes, girl.
That's a mouthful.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready to use some setting spray. We're going to go into the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Spray. You guys know how much I love this. And the mist is just incredible. I am not shy. Oh, sorry. I'm not trying to make you choke here.
I opened my mouth.
Does it taste good or no?
I can't do something. That smells really good. Ooh.
Doesn't it? Ooh, a little fan.
Wow. I may have chuckled when you did it in the other video.
Yeah. Now you know
Now
why.
here I am, yes.
Well, and it helps kind of bring things down and dry the setting spray. And then I go back over and kind of press all the powders into the skin, even though she's not wearing that many powders. It just helps kind of like bring back that skin-like finish. And it helps it last all day. And, wait, before we end.
Oh, we can't
Brow
forget
gel. This is the Benefit 24-hour brow gel. So this is not...
I love this one.
Yeah, this is not... This is a high-end one, but... Again, I feel like this is so worth it. And this lasts such a long time.
It lasted me 2 years, my other one, and I just barely got new.
Yeah, it seriously lasts so long.
I think I wear it almost every day.
I love it. I feel like you
It's
look
really
like yourself,
fun.
but it's just like a little bit of pink and peach and yellow and orange.
Yeah, I love that.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, scoot over for me.
All right, yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Abbie, thank you for coming on my channel.
Thanks so much for having me on doing my makeup.
You're welcome. I had a lot of fun. I feel like it looks like you, but like a little bit more orange. You like it?
Yes.
Truly?
Yes,
Honestly,
I love
truly?
it. Yes.
Great.
This is something I would do to myself if I
hope so.
knew how to do it, but now I know how
Well,
to
now
do it.
you can watch it back and you'll know how.
Yeah.
And all the products are very affordable and very good.
This is like what I see on Pinterest. I'm like, I want to do that.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really did have fun doing Abbie's makeup. It was kind of different for me to sit here and explain to you what I'm doing on someone else's face and why, which I feel like is helpful because, you know, we're all different. And so if you have a similar taste like Abbie does or similar skin type or eye shape or whatever, it might be helpful for you guys to see what I personally would do. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and this is Abbie. She's not a regular, but she's here sometimes. She's been here for about a week. Can't get rid of her.
Stop!
Just raiding my pantry and my food storage.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Rice-A-Roni
right.
and Annie's mac and cheese.
That's right. I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you want to join the family, just click on the subscribe button below, and if you want to be notified every time I upload, you can click on the bell after you subscribe. Thanks again, Abbie, for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome, you know? And hopefully all of you guys have a wonderful day, stay healthy, and stay safe, and we will see you in well, I will see you in my next video. I'm not sure when you'll be back, but, you know, if there's enough high demand, I'll bring you back.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Love
Love
you.
you. Bye.
Bye.